Now today we're going to be doing some incredible things. We have an incredible woman that is definitely global. She is from England. She has a background that absolutely we could go around the world many times. However, as of late, we've talked about two top blondes. Actually, I kind of think we are extraordinary hot top blondes because we're going to tell you exactly how to achieve your goals and not to let anything overcome. And it's because of experience. It is because of true out-and-out experience that we have both dealt with. Now, we're both blonde. We're both self-made. We've traveled globally. We know what it is to be completely independent. However, we have different opinions, we have different styles, and we have different technique. However, we have one goal, and that's to impact everyone's life in the most positive way. So without further ado, let's grab the second mic, and let's bring on our special guest, Ninon de Vere De Rosa. The second mic is coming. In the meantime, would you like to say something? Go ahead.
I think you are absolutely amazing, Marge. Isn't she amazing, this woman? I mean, I am very fortunate. All my life I've been very fortunate, and people seem to come into my life that they just come out of nowhere. And this woman is, I wanted Margie to come up and talk with me. And I'm saying with me, not at me or at you or anybody. So we talk together because I think sometimes a lot of these speeches can go on and they get rather boring. So I figure between the two of us, we can get you all going as to what's happening in our lives and where we're going. Margie has been extremely successful in America and Europe. So she's from America and I'm from England, as if you wouldn't know, with the voice, right? I'm known as the voice. So between the two of us of what we've accomplished, I don't know how you started, Margie. I know how I started.
Why don't you tell them? Go ahead.
Okay.
I want to know. Tell them.
Okay. Well, to start with, I never went to school. That was number one. My mother and father decided they didn't want to send their 5 children to school. So I never went to school. The first time I stepped into a school was when I took my stepdaughter and I had to find out how to get her into school. Well, I had no idea what I was doing, but I faked it all. And then I left home at 16. And I don't know why I left home at 16, but I had a home, I had everything, but I wanted to be on my own and start my own road because I did not want to go the direction that I saw ahead of me. So at 16 I started. I got one little bedroom. I think it was like £3 or something a week or something like that. And I worked in a hotel, and I built myself up in this hotel. I worked 20 hours a day for 6 days and 18 hours on Sunday. And the reason I did that was because I lived in a little town called Torquay, Devon, and I wanted to move to London, and I didn't have any money because I left home at £5. So anyway, I had £100. I saved £100 in 1 year. Now that might sound not very much, but at those days, are we going back a little way?
Well, just a day or two, but that's okay. We just give them a rough synopsis.
So anyway, so then I moved to London, and then that's where the story started. And that's where I started modeling, I started filming, and I moved up the ladder. But I always had one goal, and my goal was to have the best. I would buy one suit, not 3 suits, but I'd buy an expensive suit. So my challenge has always been to the goal I wanted, which was the best. And I think that's, it's hard to do it because when you're young, you really don't quite know, but I would only go into the best restaurants. I was very fussy who I dated, and I just had this sort of goal where I was going, and I made sure I stayed on that line. And I've stayed on that line ever since, and it's worked.
It has worked, but I think there's another deeper message. We're going to do that. How are we going to achieve? Do we just jump out there? Well, that's what I did. And yes, I fell on my face, but I'd get up and pull up my bootstraps and I would set off again. And ultimately, though, the goals that I set, because I had high standards, I had dreams of having beautiful things. But I also found I could not be just self-serving. It was to help and impact lives for other people, to inspire, to get them to understand that they have goals, they have dreams, and most of all, if you believe in yourself, you're going to achieve. So that was the mode and the method that I used.
And I love what you just said. She just said that you don't have to destroy or be unkind to anybody on the way up. You have to take them in with you, because they all kind of help you, and they help you on that road. And if you can help them and not put anybody down going on this road, but also to be very truthful and not to lie, because it's going to come back and hit you right in the face. So whatever shortcuts you take, I advise you not to take them, because you've got to eventually you've got to go through that process.
You have to.
It's a process.
You do. It is a process, but ultimately, you look to yourself. When you have family that are behind you and they pay your bill to go to college, or they buy your way into a firm, or they make it very, very, very easy, as opposed to really learning what you need to learn, it isn't always about putting the dollar or the golden dream and the result of it first. You've got to build a foundation, and you cannot build a foundation if you do not understand from deep within you.
And I think what you're talking about is being humble.
Humble,
I think it's the greatest thing to be humble.
To be humble, and on the back of her business card, she has a beautiful statement: "For without you, there is nothing." To deal with people today, to achieve the goals and success we all want, and they're all different. Not all of us want to be CEOs, but you can be the CEO of your own dream. You can dig down deep, and you can say, all right, now I have a plan. You might be a housewife with children and feel that that should be your main priority, but you've got other dreams over here. So,
and there is no competition, because you are the competition.
No.
And that is whatever you want to do. Nobody is going to do it the same way as you. And it's like a lot of people say to me, I have an internet TV talk show called Voices of, I have one called Voices of Tomorrow, which for the children. I now have one, Vegas Live with Ninon. And a lot of people say to me, well, Ninon, they're coming in, they're going to copy you, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. And I said, well, no, number one, no one can take this voice. this is my voice. But number two, there's thousands of talk show people out there, and it doesn't make any difference. They are not competition. Do your own thing. Feel the strength within yourself and bring it out. Don't be afraid of it.
If you feel that, well, this company or that person or this one over here is competition, that's an excuse within yourself. You're trying to look for something to fail. The idea is, no, you do not let any obstacles get in your way.
Never.
For the only competition you really have, and the only real fight and battle, is within you. Do you want to succeed? Do you want the dream? And what are you willing to put yourself through to achieve it? Do you want to look in the mirror every day and face the truth and say, well, you know what? I bombed yesterday.
No, so what? So what? Go bomb. It doesn't make any difference.
Big deal.
Okay.
Or you know what? It felt really good because it impacted other people's lives in the most positive way. That is what is important, is to impact your staff, your friends, your churchgoers, your relationship, your children. They are the future of tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So therefore, I'd like to also acknowledge Ninon has been awarded 125 times with her work with children and the young adults. In fact, she did what was really considered the impossibility. She got her camera crew inside
Juvenile Hall
to interview those troubled individuals. Now that is an unheard of accomplishment, and she did it. And the word no did not apply, because where there's a will, there is a way. And the word no does not apply on anything.
No, it
just doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply. But I have to tell about the Juvenile Hall, because I'm walking into this office in Los Angeles, and there's all these men around, and I'm the only woman. I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And I just made it very clear to them what I was going to do, that I would not be filming the children, their hands, their feet, but I wouldn't film. This was something to promote the juvenile halls of why did we have so many children in juvenile hall. There's I think it's 800 in each juvenile hall, and there's a waiting list for kids to get into juvenile hall. Now, we're all adults in here, and we're all doing something wrong, because there's no reason these children under 18 should be in there. I'm interviewing them, and I've got a 17-year-old saying, I won't be out till I'm 25. And I just felt that all this had to be out there. But what I did promise them, I said, I will not put any film out until I get the approval of you that I can put this out. So I got the okay from them, so that was fine. And I did 5 of them, and I won awards from them. And thank you for mentioning that.
Oh,
it was amazing.
For sure. She truly an award-winning journalist. Now, I'd like to just go back in and kind of talk about just different cultures that you and I have touched on.
Oh, yes,
and I think
many.
that this really also was a big part of my inspiration at a very young years, and then I'm sure it was yours. Many, many years ago, I had the very good fortune to go to Africa. I was in the back bush of Kenya, and I had the opportunity to tour many of the camps of the Maasai. The Maasai tribes, they make their own artifacts. They still make their own huts. But they're children. Their children, they were sick. And I would sit there and I would play with them, and they would come to me. And I spent a lot of time there. I learned about their culture. They run, in case any of you don't know, when you see in film, and by the way, the movie Out of Africa, Robert Redford, that was the territory, and I had the very good fortune. I wasn't a part of the movie crew, but I had the very good fortune of actually being on site. Those children reached out, grabbed my heart, and I mean to tell you, I spent 10 days in and out of each one of those camps, talking to the different women, why they do things, the culture. They're still going out, and you talk about a lean, mean machine body. Those men still dress in tribal gear and run with the lions, literally. And I have that on film. But to listen to the stories, that would start my heart beating because I couldn't figure out, how could I help these children? How could I help these young adults, or even the elderly? Because they had not progressed. They had not progressed. My background went from the back of Africa with the Maasai tribes to the higher end and anything in between in Paris and in other countries. And so I had the good fortune of seeing all types of life. And that was I was humbled, I was honored. More than anything, I was so appreciative that I took it upon myself, because I didn't come from a family that would be supportive. But I knew that any dream that I had, I could help others accomplish theirs.
Now, I have to say, this is very ironic, because Margie does not know this story. I formed a foundation. It was called the Kids Talk Foundation, and I went to many countries, but one of them I went to Kenya, and I went to Kakamega and 2 other camps. I know exactly what you're talking about, and when she talks about these children, we went there because I had this children's foundation, so I would get scholarships for children, I would help them and everything else. So we opened up in Kenya, and we bought a house there for them. We supported 3 camps there for them. We sent the children to school. But when she talks about the children making these animals, what they would do, they would make these wooden animals, and they would carve them themselves out of any old piece of wood, anything, and they would have all their little tools and all their little things and everything else. They would send them to us, and we would sew them for them, and we would send the money back to them. So we were kind of a team working out there. So when you talk about these children, now all these children, we started with 600, and we ended up, I think, with 1,200 children. Of course, they get malaria there and everything else, so we had to have the medical team. So we had a medical team, we had a school we started everything over there. All these children were orphans. And because it was either their family had died of drugs, or obviously AIDS was very prominent there at that particular time. And I remember having an interview one time, and they never told me that this woman had AIDS. So I'm sort of running around and interviewing these people and everything else, and I walk into this little old shack and everything else, and in front of the house is this great big sort of mound, and I'm like, why is that mound there? Well, in Africa, in some of the houses and some of the places, they actually bury their husbands in front of the house. Mm-hmm. I know it's different. Anyway, so I walk in there, and there's this poor woman, and she's like breathing heavily, and she's not very well, and they turned around and said to me, they said, well, Ninon, do you mind? This woman has AIDS. And I said, no, it doesn't make any difference to me. And it was so beautiful to talk to this woman and understand what the pain they all go through there, and how they try to survive, and how their life is so deteriorated through the AIDS and the orphans of the kids and bringing up all these kids. So what you're talking about is absolutely amazing, but I've been there and done that. So there's something we have in common.
Not only do we have it in common that we've done, but I think it should be at the very top of our list to look into, to possibly revisit again.
Oh, I can revisit. I still know them all out there.
Well, I'm still in touch with many people
Yes.
there too, but there's one thing about being in touch, and there's another thing about actually
Doing
being
it.
there.
Yes,
There's
yes,
actually
yes.
something
Actually
about the
doing it.
physical presence of somebody actually coming back. One of the areas, it's just a local thing, but you know, the veterans of the United States of America, I am a Goodwill ambassador and am recognized as such for the veterans of the United States of America. And when I go there and I go in and I shake somebody's hand there, to wish them a Merry Christmas, because there wasn't anybody else there. The look on their face, the appreciation, they put their life on the line. The same feeling, the same look in their eyes are what those children had. The need of want, the need of love, and love is the strongest force in the universe, no matter where you go.
Absolutely.
And I mean to tell you to incorporate and embrace something new in your life, to give back. It's going to give you reward tenfold, I guarantee you.
But I would also like to mention, too, I know a lot of you in the room here, and I appreciate everything you do for me. Bruce, you're amazing, absolutely wonderful man. But there's a lot of you in here that are new friends, and a lot of you I know, a lot of you I don't know. But I think what I would like to really make sure is that whatever you want to do in this world, I was speaking to a young lady up here, and she's got 4 different things she's doing, and I said, no. Go into your one thing you want, that one definite thing you really, really like to do, and all the other little things that you want will join it. But stay focused on that one thing, and you can do it. And you can't blame anybody else if it doesn't happen. It is up to you. But as I say on the back of my card, nothing happens without you. So everybody else brings in that energy as well. So recognize those people that help you, that put you where you need to go, because without them you can't get there.
I'd like to just at this time to simply say that Ninon and I, though we're both solo speakers, we're also a team. It's the 2 blondes with a magical message that will impact lives. And today is the beginning of a multitude of many, many things, and we are represented by the absolute king himself of kings. Bruce Marin of Bruce Marin Celebrity Speakers Bureau. So you can find out about us at that time. Today's short little presentation is to let you know that really our message is about impacting your life in the most positive way. If we have lifted you in some way, each and every one, in just some little way, then this has been...
Oh, I hope it's a lot of ways.
Well, I know.
I mean, you know, I'm a big thinker. Think big. I mean, come on, guys.
I'm a big thinker too.
I'm a jokester, by the way, so I've been very quiet, you know, but normally I joke around, but I have to say something. I'm going to interrupt.
Well,
I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to say something.
All right, okay.
We met about 6 months ago.
Yes.
And I was talking with Margie the other day, and I said, do you know Margie? I said, she wanted me to come up and speak. I said, yeah, I'd love to come up and speak. I said, that would be fun. And I said, but I'm not going to do it without you. And she looked at me like, huh? And I said, I have this idea. And the idea was the 2 of us getting up to speak. Now, I want to know from all of you, how have we done together? Because this is something new that we're going to take this out there. I don't know, it's going to go far because I'm a big thinker, and I don't see barricades, I don't see wars, I don't see any of that stuff, because that's what you make yourself.
Well, I've already been booking flights for Europe. How about you?
Oh, I'm in Africa. I'm out with the kids again.
Well, hey, no. We got to get back on the same continent. But the idea is, we definitely around the world want to send out the message that the will to win at life is within you. You control your destiny, and just remember, intelligence, is simply creativity, having fun. And the more fun you have, the bigger chance you have. The bigger chance you have of succeeding. And don't forget.
I have no idea. Let's go to Italy, and Hans got
Hey, listen. Hey, that's all right.
That's a great idea. Love that idea.
Book
We'll
that
all jump
flight.
on the jet.
We'll be out this afternoon to check it out.
We'll all be jetting it.
Yeah, we'll be jetting it. You know, one of the mottos that I use is to come on and board my plane of ambition because we're going to land at your airport of success. And so today, I think we've done that.
I
Ninon.
think we've done that. Have you been comfortable talking with me? I mean, you know, have you been okay?
Oh yeah, I've been fine. You know what?
I
You
love
know
it.
what? You know, she says.
We can have a conversation
You know, she
right now.
says
You can listen.
No, you know, the other day, she gave me a tip the other day. You talk about women, and sometimes they go, oh, you gave me a tip the other day.
Which one was it? I have a few of them up my sleeve.
Yeah, she says to me, Margie, she says, don't look down in front of the camera. You have a tendency to do that. Look up, look up. Well, you know what? There was a deeper message there. It is true. I have a tendency every now and then to kind of look
She
down.
looks down a
But
lot,
we
and
should
I said-
never look down.
No,
We're
you've got to look
always
up.
looking up because we're going to the top. Ninon,
love
this has
that.
been a
Oh,
pleasure.
I love it. Thank you
that.
so much.
I
Thank
love
you,
that,
Margie.
darling.
Love you. This is just the beginning of the two blondes.
Yes, questions now.
all right,
Go
come on.
ahead. Who's got a question?
Nobody has a question.
Oh, come on. Somebody's got to have a question.
Steve, you have. Oh, Marilyn, come on.
Can I go to Italy with you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Make sure it's a big layer. Oh, yes. Bonnie, what do you got?
How could a simple person like you?
I beg your pardon?
How could a simple person like you?
Believe in yourself.
What makes you simple? You
You're
don't
not
look
simple.
You don't
dear.
look simple to
You're
me.
Not, you're not simple. You
You're
are.
a human being.
And you already have the success in you. If you're talking about a look, well, I can take you shopping, but I think you look fabulous the way you are.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So, you know, again, it's about positive outlook. It's about positive outlook. And decide what kind of a look do you want?
Every one of us are beautiful.
we
Everybody
are.
in this
We
entire room
haven't-
in the world are
we've
beautiful.
got nothing but beautiful
Truly.
people
We
here
all-
from the inside out. You know, someone says to me, because most everybody knows the story, and I won't go into that now, but most people say to me, they say, why don't you smile? And I can't smile, and I won't go into that now why. However, my answer and response is this: I am smiling. It's from the inside out. And so
I'll tell you what, she's the serious one and I'm the funny one, so there you go.
Oh, but every now and then
I'm
I...
smiley.
Well, that's okay. You can be snarly, and I'll just be M.
No, you're my friend. She's my partner. She's fabulous.
No,
Absolutely.
we are a dynamic team. We really are. And our goal, again, is to impact lives in the most positive way.
And Bruce, without you, we cannot do it.
Exactly. So please eat your vegetables, stay healthy, because we need to be booked right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Italy, here we come.
Hell, you betcha. Book that later. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you soon.